We are Steve and Jill.
Together, we've been buying and reselling land since the 90s.
Our data-centric approach leaves our buyers asking, how can you sell it so cheap?
Here on the Land Academy Show,
We answer that and more. Jack and Jill here.
hello.
Welcome to the Land Academy Show, entertaining land investment talk. I'm Steve and Jack Putella.
And I'm Jill DeWitt, broadcasting in the Valley of the Sun. Can you see our boring brown background?
We're back.
We are home. It is boring. You know what? Your dad's right. Your dad, this is the funniest thing we were talking about. Your dad,
My dad's right about something?
Yeah, your dad's right about something. Your dad says to us, basically he's talking about where we live in the landscape, but it looks like our home too. He's like, you must really love the color brown. You know what I do?
I do too.
Apparently I do. Well, I have brown hair, I have brown eyes, and you like brown hair, brown eyes because you're with me.
To which I always say to my dad, it's better than the color white, meaning white snow.
Yeah, totally agree.
I will take great weather brown over silly cold weather snow.
Because you know what comes with great weather brown? Blue skies, yellow sun.
And happy people.
Happy people. No shovels.
Today, Jill and I talk about, well, it's land investing from the road, week 6.
Week 7.
This is
technically week 8.
Yeah.
I'm going to catch y'all up here.
Week 7, sorry.
Yeah. Well, week 8. Again, I'll catch up because we skipped week 7.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The name of this show is called Land Investing from the Road, week 7, hotel bar, land conversations. It is shocking.
I'll catch y'all up.
When you sit down at a hotel bar and start talking about people's experience in their own land deals.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Before we get into it, we're going to take a question posted by one of our members on our online communities. There are 2. The public one is landinvestors.com. The private one is with our members, and it's on Discord. Will wrote, before coming to Land Academy, I made the mistake of taking a different course.
It's not a mistake.
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think you get something out of everything.
Me too.
And if anything, it brought him here. It kind of warmed him up and taught him some stuff. And
more education's always better.
Sure.
About everything.
So he goes on to say, in that course, it prioritized starting in just a couple of counties and often close enough to get to for putting signs out or whatnot. Is there more to the question?
Let's see.
Hold, please.
I'm relearning to use a teleprompter for this highfalutin equipment that we have in our home studio. We're not used to that from our 2-month-long RV
stint.
Yeah.
I've stayed within a single state and done some deals. However, when I think about trolling for zip codes and the red, yellow, green, testing them, aka our way, it seems like I could be doing this anywhere in the country. Should I be hesitant about being in a bunch of different states?
Well,
that's the best.
This person posted this in Discord. Can you imagine what people said?
Oh my God, yeah, this is gonna be, I can't. I'm sure there was a barrage
I don't know why
comments.
Someone would teach limits.
Good point.
Do you sit and tell your young children every day, this is good enough for you?
Yeah.
You don't all this amazing things and opportunities and wonderful potential out there. You just only have a little bit. Yeah.
I know you were invited to MIT, but you need to stay close to home. Could you imagine?
No. If we all have this image of a mother and her tiny little infant children and just, coddling them and saying, you can be anything you want in
just
the
don't
whole
leave the
world.
Yard.
Why would you teach that?
I don't know.
The sky's the limit, people.
That is hilarious.
There's 150 million pieces of real estate in this country, in this great country of ours.
Yes.
I hope you all buy them all and resell them.
Well, I was talking to someone the other day. I'm like, we just got back. I'm going to talk more about this here in the main part, but from 2 months away on the road, I'm rolling through counties going, never heard of it, never heard of it. Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
We're sending mail here.
This one sucks. This one's great. All kinds of things. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Why would you stay with just what you know? I agree. You are missing out.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, but the thing is too, with one exception, it's Jack and Michelle Bosch. Every single other person that has a land course now is a former member of Land Academy.
It's kind of nice.
So I don't know why they would teach that.
I don't know. It's okay.
Today's topic, land investing from the road, week 7. hotel bar land conversations. This is the meat of the show.
You know what to follow up on that? I think they don't know how to teach it.
I think you're right. I think they are suck at teaching.
People don't know how to show other people how to go out and find your own areas. So anyway, back to the meat of the show. So this is land investing. Technically, it's week 8. Why?
Final week.
Because week 7 last week, thank you for your patience, you got reruns because we were driving. We got the green light to pick up our RV and head west. So we did. So, and in case you're wondering, week 8, wow, yes, we were gone for 59 days. That's 8 weeks and 3 days.
First thing I did when I got back.
I did the math. Can you tell?
First thing I did when I got back is I went into Jill's closet with a tape measure and measured her closet. And her closet is larger than the space that we lived in for 59 days.
Yeah. When you add up the square footage.
We lived in a closet for two months.
Did. But you know what? It was fun.
It was a blast. I would do it. I would do it again tomorrow.
You know what's great about this?
We will do it again.
Well, we just talked about this with our advanced group in Land Academy, and we did two calls this week. One with our whole advanced group, and then one with the Career Path 5 group that's going on right now. And we told them the same thing. We're eating our words a little bit. We always say that you should never leave your desk because you're losing money. So there's part of that that's true. Like what Will says, you don't need to walk out and stand and love on every property and roll around in it and bring back a soil sample or something like that. You don't have to do that. But if you have the opportunity and you can get out and just see some stuff, it sure changes things. And, we all look at Google Earth. We look at what the easements look like. It's different when you're standing there. And you just it's good to remind yourself, even around your own town, it's good to remind yourself like, okay, this is what my buyer sees. Got it. Now I know how to come about it and make sure that, I'm showcasing this part and properly explaining that part, fill in the blank, So I know today we're going to talk about barroom stories, which is, right, that's what you want to talk about?
Well, we can talk about, there's a couple of guys we met.
Yeah.
When we were in Dallas.
Advantages of getting out.
And they had stories about owning land and selling it, and great, beautiful, fun, amazing stories. And we kind of said, that could be your job.
Even Arkansas.
We weren't selling any. Was it in Arkansas?
Well, Arkansas was that one guy. And then we had those other people in the Dallas bar. We had several bar conversations.
So, there were several bar events in the last 59 days.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But without even knowing what Jill and I, who Jill and I are in any way,
sure.
People just say, yeah, I bought this piece of land, did a bunch of stuff to it, or, and sold it for a ton more. Not so, a couple of years later, just telling us about how great it is. And I said, to every one of these people, I'm like, I got to tell you, that's kind of what we do. And that's how we make a living full time. And they all just stopped. Every single one of them, because there's nothing to sell. Yeah, there's nothing to sell them. They're already in on it. They already know.
They just don't know what to do or how to go about it.
Right.
It's so funny. Yeah, it's interesting that I was thinking so much of everything that we make, the decisions we make think about the decisions we make in our everyday life right now. For us, it's where we're going to live that we can afford, right? And what makes sense to us, what makes sense money-wise, job-wise, people-wise, all those things, right? And where we're going to put our school, where we're going to put our kids, what schools are good for our kids to raise our children, right? So, and then what's the main driving thing is we all got to think about that decides where we're going to live. And then that rolls back to real estate, which rolls back to land. It's funny that it all comes back to that. But I love some of these stories. My favorite was these Arkansas people. They never even knew what we did in the end. So that's my point is, why does this keep coming up? Because that's what's on people's minds. Where I'm going to live, where I'm going to buy, where I'm going to be. People either love their town and they're digging in, or they don't like their town and they want to get out and they have dreamy visions of fill in the blank, lake, fishing, lifestyle, better schools, whatever it is.
Go ahead, Jill. You're on a roll.
Oh, it's okay. Wait,
I've had a lifelong goal, and I continue to have this goal to not have a job. And it's really interesting. It's young men, for whatever reason. It's always young men who we get into these conversations with, and it has not occurred to them yet, and it will, that they don't have to have a job.
Yeah.
They're going to actually just buy and sell land all day long,
Right.
or really, in my case, less than an hour a day. And so, I think that I don't really get into it with them, but I really believe that the root of that is bills. And the reason you have a lot of bills, if you're a young man, is because you're in a relationship. And if you're not in a relationship, you don't have any bills or very few bills.
Why does this always have to go there? It sounds a little like, hold on a moment. Maybe you're a woman and there's a man dragging you down.
Maybe.
He can't hold a job.
I'm sure that exists. I'm sure of it.
Let's just, please don't pick on the women here. Because, yeah.
We don't find many young women sitting in a bar talking about land. That's the only reason I bring it up that way.
That may or may not be true. I am a little odd when it comes to that. I know people look at me sideways when I start talking about stuff. They're like, who are you and how do you know all this stuff?
How can you're a woman. How can you speak like that?
Thanks.
You're smart. I know they do look at you like that.
There's a little bit of they're confused. And then they get past it. Then I think they kind of forget that I'm a woman. I'm talking about this.
They don't forget.
Oh. It's hilarious. Okay. Do you have any other stories you want to share about?
I bring this whole entire episode up because the next time you're sitting in a bar room or anywhere, maybe in church, I don't know, and ask people if they've ever had an experience buying with a piece of land, and they'll drop what they're doing and they'll talk to you for hours about it. And it's almost always positive.
Except for last night. I'll end on this. No, we met the cutest couple visiting Arizona from Boston. And we did mention land, and they are kind of, as we're all talking and sharing what we do, they're kind of like, what do you guys do? And we don't say Land Academy. Okay. We were just talking about we happen to buy and sell land, and they launched into this Florida lot that they've owned for 13 years.
Personal story.
That they probably overpaid for, but they fell in love with it. They were in their 30s. They were young. They said, all in, we're probably going to be in for $50,000. So I hate to let it go for what it's really probably worth, which is 10, maybe 5. She even threw out those numbers. So by the way, those of you listening right now go, what are you talking about? These sellers know. They know they overpaid. They've been paying taxes for years. She even said, it breaks my heart, but I bet I can get 5 to 10 for it, and that's probably all it's worth. I didn't tell her that.
So we're gonna do a show next week.
I want 50
Florida lots.
That's a good one.
Sight unseen.
Yeah, so we had a long chat about them, and it was funny because they're like, I'm like, why aren't you just selling it and just walk away? And it was so cutest. The guy said, heck yeah, I don't care. We've already made money in other places in real estate. They've done some flips. They're like, oh, we're already way ahead. It doesn't really matter. And she's like, but sentimental reasons, I can't let it go. That was 100%.
I think it represents getting the hell out of the Northeast.
Right. Owning that little piece down there feels a little bit good to them.
Right.
They're never going to do anything. And she even said, we're never going to do anything with it. But there's a sentimental value for her. So
don't buy land in Florida sight unseen. That's the name. Going to be a show next week.
It was really funny. But anyway, that was good. Happy you could join us today. 5 days a week. You can find us here on the Land Academy Show.
Tomorrow, the episode on the Land Academy Show is called, I'm going to explain actually, the American Land Division System.
And I will paint my nails.
You are not alone in your real estate ambition. Maybe Jill's alone in her ambition tomorrow.
Yeah, I might be. Or you might be alone in your ambition. You and 3 people might be alone in your mission. Hey, by the way, thank you for tuning in. And if you think that all this chatter about land investing and whatever we're doing might be a good fit for you, check it out. Get our free ebook. Get involved in our free online community. Go to landacademy.com and you'll find it all. And you can also reach out to my team if you have any other questions at support@landacademy.com.
We are Jack and Jill. Information
and inspiration
to buy undervalued property.
We hope you find our content valuable and we appreciate your support. If you have not already, please check out our channel and hit the subscribe button.
And your comments and suggestions help us to create the content you're here for. Hitting the like button helps to support our channel's algorithm and gauge your interest for future shows.